Hey there, this is Nina Perez, and this is Straight Talk, No Sugar Added. Today is a very special episode. I am going to introduce you to a very dear friend of mine who is at the end stage renal failure. And I had the honor and privilege of interviewing her. And she is in need of what we can help her with. I am encouraging you to watch the video fully, share it so that it goes viral, get tested. I will put the information on the link, and hopefully all of us together, uniting to save a life, can find someone who can be a match, can be a donor, and save her life. So please watch and let me know if you have any questions or anything that I can do to help you help Lakia. Thank you so much for watching. Hello, this is Nina Perez, and this is Straight Talk, No Sugar Added. Thank you so much for watching. This show was created to discuss real life topics and hopefully challenge and transform your thinking. So today is a special episode for us here at Straight Talk, and we are here at Lakia Johnson's home, and we are going to be discussing some real life topics. Today we are going to be discussing end-stage renal failure. What does that mean? Why are we going through this? Why are we talking about this? Because believe it or not, I am finding that more and more people are going through this. And so we are here to really discuss what that means. What does it mean to be in end-stage renal failure? What do you go through? You know, how scary is that to even hear when you get that diagnosis? So we are here to discuss that real life topic, and hopefully you will share, you will comment, you will spread the word, anything you have to do to help someone, help Lakia or someone in her situation. So thank you so much for watching, and I want to introduce you to some really good friends of mine. So this is Lakia Johnson, and we've been friends for about 18 years, and this is Lucy Freeman. She's my BFF. And we've been friends for about the same time. We went to choir together and churches together, and we've seen our kids be raised together, and it's been a wonderful journey. So we are here to talk to Lakia Johnson. She has been diagnosed with end-stage renal failure, and that happened a few years ago, but I wanted to have her share with you what she has been through, what she's gone through, why we are doing this show, and so we can hopefully get something to challenge and transform the way we do things, right? So Lakia, thank you so much for being here. Lucy, thank you for sitting with us.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. So Lakia, on this show, we always put somebody in the hot seat, and so today is you.
Oh boy.
And I wanted you to share with our audience basically who you are, where you come from, you know, what you're doing, what you like, what you don't like, anything you want to share with us. So go ahead and share.
All right, so again, I'm Lakia Johnson, born and bred here in Connecticut, actually born in New Haven, where we're filming today. Who am I? Wow. I am a lover of people.
That's true.
I love people. I'm a giver. I'm a server. I enjoy music. I enjoy reading. I enjoy a lot of research. With what I'm going through now, I've been researching a lot of different things. But I'm a mom. My son is 26. And I have gone through the Norwalk public school system. And then I transitioned out of Norwalk, out of Connecticut for about 5 years. I went to Georgia. I lived in Atlanta for about 5 years, and it was okay. You know, some heartaches, but some bumps, but I'm still alive.
Yeah, and was it in Atlanta that you were diagnosed with having kidney disease?
Yes, ma'am, it was. I was diagnosed, I want to say 2016, because in 2017, I went through a whole year of becoming vegan.
Okay.
So what happened was, I was dealing with diabetes for several years, probably maybe 15 years. And I was like, I gotta get this thing under control. So in 2016, when I was diagnosed, I was like, okay, well, maybe I can try to reverse it, because I don't think I was so far along. So my friend and I, Lakia, we decided to go vegan for a whole year. And I went cold turkey. Do I suggest that for anyone to just go cold turkey vegan? No. But I did just to make some.
Well, you had something. There was a reason.
There was
right?
a reason.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. And so I went vegan for the year. Was able to get rid of the diabetes. So they have this thing called A1C, and I'm sure everyone has heard about that. My A1C before going vegan was 12.4.
Ooh, that's high.
That's very high.
Very high.
And after going vegan for that entire year, and I mean like dedicated, no sugar, no anything, it came down to a 5.4.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
And so I got a call from my doctor. He said, you don't have to take the diabetes medication, but I need you to come in to the hospital. And I knew I was having some issues, I wasn't able to hold food down as much. So I went in and I took myself, it was like 5 a.m. I took myself because I was just not holding anything down. It was just the worst type of nausea, vomiting, all of that. And I said, I took myself to the urgent care. And when you go to urgent care, they check everything,
right?
And so when I got there, I was there for about 2.5 hours, and you get a little anxious. You're ready to go. It's Sunday. I got to get prepared for work. Still in my mind, I'm not thinking about my health. I'm just like, I got to get ready for work.
Yeah, of course.
And so I said, what time will I be released? And they were like, you're not going to be released. We're waiting for an ambulance. And I was like, an ambulance for what? I said, my car is here. I don't have anyone to come pick it up. So I'm having all of these excuses of why I can't stay at the hospital. And they were like, if you don't stay, there's like your blood count is a 6. And if you don't get to a hospital for a transfusion, there won't be a tomorrow.
Wow.
I said, okay. All right.
Wow.
So what time is this ambulance coming? And so
you're like, forget the car.
Forget the car,
Yeah.
right? And then even in that, I said, well, can I at least drive myself to the hospital? They were like, no, because we know you won't go to the hospital. So I was like, oh God, okay. So I ended up in the hospital for about 7 days, and they've run all these different tests to tell me that my kidneys have failed.
My goodness.
Both of them. They were working at, I think they said at the time 6% each.
6%.
6% each.
That must have been some news to get, huh?
It was devastating, because I had gone vegan thinking that I could change this thing around, and it was
When you
too
changed
late.
the diabetes around, you just couldn't change the kidney
I couldn't
disease.
change the kidney disease.
Did you know that there was already some kidney disease going on while you were diabetic?
No.
Okay, so this was like your first news of it on
This
top
is
of
my
it.
very first
Wow,
news,
so what
yes.
you were thinking of changing around was the diabetes.
Was
You
the
had no
diabetes.
idea there was another thing.
No.
Wow.
And it's interesting because in my research, I found that diabetes, high blood pressure, and kidney disease for the African American community, we never talk about kidney disease.
Right.
We just do the diabetes and the high blood pressure.
It's true.
But they're both contributors to kidney failure, and it's very high in our community because we don't check for it.
Right.
So it's imperative that we start checking for kidney disease as well. And hindsight being 2020, after looking at my blood work, my creatinine, I saw it creeping up, but I didn't know what creatinine was.
Right, and your doctors didn't
and my
tell
doctor
you either.
Didn't say anything as well, because I guess our creatinine for females, for women, should be like a 1.1, right? Mine was a 3. in 2015.
Wow, they could have caught this a little earlier.
So they could have caught it a little earlier.
Right.
And because I didn't know what a creatinine was.
Right.
I'm looking at blood pressure. All I'm looking for is A1C is decent,
Right.
you know, and then that, you know, everything else is in its range.
Right.
You know, but I'm not looking for kidney stuff. So yeah.
That's a really good tip for all of you watching as well. You know, sometimes you have to take control of your own health. A lot of times, you know, doctors don't really see it to be a problem unless it's really evident. And so sometimes you have to really kind of be your own doctor sometimes and tell a doctor, listen, why is this what it is? What does this mean? And it's okay, guys, to go through your blood work, to go through an MRI exam, to go through a, ultrasound, whatever it is. It is okay for you to ask questions if something seems even a little bit out of range, right? And it could be nothing. This is true. But how do you know that? You don't, right? I mean, to Lakia's point, in her community, and it's probably also in the Hispanic community, to be quite honest, because I don't hear too many people talking in the Hispanic community about kidneys, you know. But you know, it's something that we, as a true life topic, we have to really start taking control of our health when we have questions and not getting the answers, right? So that's a really good point, Lakia, because that's something that, you know, now like you said, hindsight is 2020, but now we have a whole new thing on our plate, right? And so what's going on? What's going on since 2015? What has been the process?
So the process has been long. So after spending that time in the hospital, I had to now make a decision. Do I stay in Atlanta, where I don't really have a support system,
right?
Or do I come back to Connecticut? And in that time, my kidneys are still depleting.
Right.
So I'm having to
big move.
Decision of starting dialysis,
right?
Medications, all of those different things, and so I pushed it to the last minute, like really to the last minute, where January of 2019, I had to come to terms with moving back to Connecticut, where I have a support system, and starting dialysis. So I got back into Connecticut February. So funny. So February 1st, I got back, had to get a whole new doctor.
Yeah. Right.
Because my doctor team that I was working here, we don't have a Kaiser Permanente here. Right. So I had to find a whole new team. And so that was from February 1st. February 12th, I finally found a doctor. My friend recommended, my PCP is also a nephrologist. Wait, let me get to him.
Right.
So I went to him. I didn't do any research on him. I said, I just need to get February.
You just wanted to get treatment.
I just needed to get started with something. And so that was February 12th. February 15th, I'm not sure how many doctors call anybody, like the physical doctor call anyone at 7 a.m.
Right.
But he called me and he said, I need you to get to the hospital ASAP because you have to start dialysis today.
Wow.
So whatever my tests were from the 12th to the 15th, that's only 3 days,
right,
was off the chart that I had to start dialysis that day. So I got my aunt took me to the hospital, and I was there for several days, just starting my new life with dialysis, having this cord hanging out of my chest, you know, and my new life, now having to go to some place 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you know, and absolutely hated it, but had to make the best of it because it was keeping me alive.
Right, I was just gonna say, it's something you have to do, not by choice.
Not by choice.
You have to skip a day. You can't skip a day, right? So I'm assuming that because of this happening to you, you've also been affected. I'm just thinking in my head, financially, because for me, if that was happening to me, I don't think I could work. I'm assuming that's what's happening, right? I mean, there's no way you can work in that kind of condition.
Right now, no. So when you're doing treatments, and some people do, I don't know how they do it, because dialysis at a center, having your blood circulated through the machine, that's very tiring.
Yeah.
You know, and so,
Sure.
and to do that for 3.5, 4 hours.
Oh, wow, it's a long time.
It's
then.
a long
Wow.
time. And so I don't understand how people can do it. Like, and they do. And just me, I haven't been able to put all of that together in my life. And I want to work, I really do. But the days that I'm so tired, like some days it's even a chore to walk.
Yeah.
You know, because you're just so depleted of energy.
Right.
And so,
did the diabetes get under control? Is that okay?
So not now,
Okay.
because of the kidneys failing.
Okay.
So now, because that is all intertwined together, my high blood pressure, my blood pressure, which I've never had blood pressure issues until kidney issues. It's been a struggle, because it's like my whole body is falling apart because of two little beans.
Yeah.
You know, and so.
So we're here today because we wanted to discuss what this all means, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because end stage anything sounds very scary.
It is.
You are still alive. You are still here. You still have a full mind, you know, and but I want to talk about the reality of what that means, if you're comfortable with that. I want to talk about what the reality of that means. What can people do to help? What do we do to have Lakia live another 20 years instead of having this conversation of an end stage, right? So I wanted to talk about that because that means a lot to me, for me to have you around another 20 years to harass you. So I kind of do need you around. You're very special. You're a very special human being. And you know, everything that you said in the beginning about who you are, about a people person and caring about people, all of that is so true. And something that I found very authentic, right? Don't you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Lucy and I are always talking about how sweet you are. Sometimes I want you to be a little bit more mean to people, but you're not.
I'm trying.
This must be hard for your son too. I mean, he's your only son, right?
Yes.
So how has he been, you know, going through it?
So Chris is an interesting character because he wants to be strong, you know, and I know moms of sons, you know, they want to protect their mothers,
Right.
you know, and so he'll tell me things like, get your tail from between your legs.
Right.
This is not the time. But then I think because he's not
trying to make himself strong. Yeah.
Right? So he won't tell me how he really feels.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want me to break down, and so I've been trying, you know, as much to just give him information,
right,
and let him process it on his own, and not just beat him, you know, over the head with it, or you gotta do this or whatever, because it's a big step, you know, it's a huge step. So
and it's scary.
It's very scary, and Chris has never been to the hospital ever. So he doesn't know what needles are. He's never had blood driven, you know, drawn from him. He's never done any of that. So that's scary. Yeah. You know, and so I just give him his space, you know, to think about, you know, what it is.
Right.
And, you know, and we did have a heart-to-heart a couple of weeks ago, and I told him, you know, when you have a conversation about your mortality, this last time I was in the hospital, 3 or 4, about a week ago, that's hard. Yeah. And I'm not ready to go yet. Right. But you know, it's God's will. But my will says. Yeah, of course. My will says I'm not ready to go. Right. And so.
Well, you're still so young.
I am. I'm only 43, so
wow, you're young.
I have a lot more to give.
Yes.
You know, I have a lot more to do. So That's where we are. It's serious. My doctor says that if I don't get a kidney sooner than later, I won't make it to transplant. And based on my blood type, it's a 6 to 8 year wait.
Wow. What's your blood type?
I'm a O. I'm
O
positive.
positive?
Yeah. So the positive negative doesn't matter, but because we are the universal blood type, we can give to everyone.
But we can't receive.
But we can't
I'm
receive.
O positive as well. I know.
See, we can't receive organs from anyone else,
Right.
but an O. So that's why we're mostly on the list than an A, B person. So.
Right. Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So what you are in need of really is a kidney.
I am in need of a kidney.
We are in need of a kidney.
Yes, someone, and it's a whole process.
Yeah.
You know, you just can't say I want to give my kidney. I mean, it was explaining to me that when she called, they asked her all these different questions to tell her no, she can't donate.
You have to go through a process of going through an interview, and after the interview they'll tell you if you're good for the second stage and then the third and the fourth stage. It's a long process, but my friend that I work with, his name is John, just gave his kidney to just a stranger. He happened to be a really good match for this young lady.
Mm-hmm.
And so I asked him, I said, how has it been giving your kidney? Because that's a pretty big step.
Mm-hmm.
He said, well, you get committed. He goes, once you first start, you're like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of work. He said, but once you're in it, you get committed. Like, you're like, I am going to do anything I can. And they actually just had their kidney transplant. And she's doing extremely well, and he's doing extremely well. And he's so happy he did it. He's so happy. And I don't know if you guys know the story, but it was big news on Facebook because he walked into a salon in Stanford and surprised the young lady because he finally got the call that he was a match after months and months and months. She had the same thing where she didn't know what was wrong, wasn't feeling well, and her kidneys were at 2% or 11% or something like that. Where are your kidneys right now? What percentage?
They are
No percentage. Okay, so you're living right now off of dialysis.
Yes.
Okay, so what we're asking, Kai didn't ask, but I'm gonna go ahead and ask, is for if you know that you yourself can be a good candidate or know someone who can be a good candidate, I'm gonna link Lakia's information to this video so you can call, so you could know her full name, anything like that, that would be helpful. But what I also would like you to do is consider spreading the word as much as possible on all your social media, however you can. I mean, we can do so many things that we don't think are important, like one person can do, but one person can make a huge difference. So if you have 2 people on your Facebook page, post it, and then ask them please to also post it, because so many people get a lot of their information from social media, right? And we never ever know about who's out there who's going to say, I want to give Lakia my kidney, right? So please spread the word. Please make sure that you share. Lakia, I want you to give us anything else that you'd like us to know, anything that you'd like the audience to know, anything that you'd like to share with us before we close out.
Absolutely. Please take care of your health and before it's too late. So any changes you have to make, please make those now. I wouldn't want anyone to have to go through any of the stuff that I deal with on a day-to-day basis. It's tough. So if you can nip it at the bud, please get yourselves checked. If you feel that you aren't holding food down or you're feeling nauseated, just have things checked out. I think you'll be better off doing that.
And just like Lakia, she's thinking about you. Just like Lakia, I give her 1 minute to tell you something that she needs, and she says, take care your health, okay? This is the kind of human being that we are talking about here. Was there anything you'd like to share?
I just wanted to say that, I'm challenging everyone who knows Lakia to start the process and just to see. You can pray about it, whatever you need to do, but pretty much like Nina, I'm also not able to give her a kidney because of kidney stones and high blood pressure, which I need to put in check soon as well. But for anyone that knows Lakia, get the information, start the process. If they rule you out, at least you know you couldn't do it. But if you come to the point where you could, then let's make the decision at that point. I feel like anybody that knows Lakia knows her and loves her. You can't know her and not love her. That's just who she is. And I too wanted to be around for a long time to pluck her last nerve. But it's just important, we only need one to survive. And if you feel like your health is at a point where you could give up one, that's how you pay it forward.
Yeah. I really wanted to do that.
Dare to share your spare.
Dare
to share your spare. I like that.
I wanted to thank you guys so much for watching, but please make sure that you do share this. This is one of those episodes that are super important to me. This woman is super important to me, and we need more amazing human beings like her on this earth for sure. So please pray for her first. And then please go and share as much as you can, please. We are now at the end stage where there is no more functioning of this kidney, so we need a kidney ASAP. I'm also going to encourage Lakia. I don't know if she'll do it because she's so hard-headed, but I'm also going to encourage Lakia to try to do a GoFundMe. Because this has happened, it's also very difficult for her to have the finances she needs for the things that she needs. So we want to make sure that we also can help her in that way. So please, Lakia, I know you're a pain in the neck, but can you just do one? So as soon as she does it, I'll make sure to repost this video with the link, because we're going to force her, twist her arm and everything else so she can do it. Because I know that there's a lot of amazing people out there. I know that you guys are amazing, and you're like, you know what, I can't give her a kidney because I have issues, but I can give her $5. I can give her $10 that she can have her groceries, that she can, do whatever it is that she needs to do to maintain her life while she's going through waiting for this amazing gift to come through. So thank you so much for watching. This is from our heart to yours. This is Nina Perez at Straight Talk, no sugar added. Until next time.